Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the mind of an Aries moon, flight boss the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now we're gonna talk about how to properly stargaze. That's right, how to motherfucking stargaze. Now Archangel Uriel is here to teach knowledge of the motherfucking stars. So flight astrology will never do you wrong with how to properly stargaze. I don't give a fuck about what ancient science or spirituality you cling on to. They probably was lost also. So we're going to teach you how to properly stargaze so you don't be outside blinding your eyes trying to actually look at the sun, and don't be trying to moon gaze and don't even know what actual energies you channeling, so you enticing all these motherfucking energies and spirits and arousing you and things of that nature and not knowing what you're fully getting into. So for the most part, let's talk about how to properly sun and moon gaze, and then we're going to get into stargazing also as far as the other stars. Now, let's break this shit down for the most part. Let's talk about the sun first. Now, if you want to sun gaze, what is the sun? The sun is the light, so it's what you're consciously aware of. So that's representing the yang, the external realm, all things outside of you. So since this brings the consciousness awareness of things that you can see, right? This letting you know that how you stay, since you're in the realm and you're not laying on the ground and facing the world the same way the being that you are in is facing, then you're going in your own direction. So you're not actually understanding that we live in reverse. But this is why everything is opposite and everything is reverse, or we have mirrors and things of that nature. So since the sun brings conscious awareness, then the way you sun gaze is in reverse. You have to sun gaze by closing your eyes. Right? So when you sun gaze, you actually close your eyes and stare in the direction of the sun. And that's how you sun gaze, right? Now, when you moon gaze, the moon is the complete opposite. It's dealing with the subconscious. That's the subconscious realm. So that's the unseen realm. So when you moon gaze, you're supposed to do it with your eyes open. You see what I'm saying? And you'll start to tear up. You'll start to get, you know what I'm talking about. You start to tear up, or you'll start to see the behind the scenes veil. Now, here's the misconception of things right here when you talk about stargazing, because people think that as soon as you sun gaze or stargaze or moon gaze that you're supposed to receive knowledge. See, a lot of y'all are lost in the physical. A lot of y'all so lost in the left brain and so lost in logic that y'all sit there and wait each second and parameter of something to come, where that's not the way that you receive information, on no way, shape, and form. Here's what's happening. You're supposed to clear your mind. Anytime you go into the concept of stargazing in general, when you bring in other things on your mind, you're only supposed to bring things on your mind that you want to gain information about. But if you just got stuff on your mind in general, and then you waiting on other stuff to come and things of that nature, you have a cloudy mind. Your mind is not clear enough to receive new information. It's almost like having a junky room. You can't bring a new dresser into the room until you move around the room or take something out of the room, or too much cluttered space into the room. So look at that as your spaceship, your mental box, your concepts, your thought forms. When you're going to stargaze, if you got things on your mind, is the gazing, the channeling, the light, the shine, the form of information that you're trying to receive and output is cluttered. It's not going to be able to get in there through all that stuff. So first and foremost, you have to clear your mind. Clear your mind and your heart space, your emotional space. Have a clear mind. Therefore, what you are experiencing, you get the true experience. And don't get lost into the left brain as I'm trying to explain it, because you'll be sitting there trying to pinpoint when you learn it. That's not, look, just experience. Therefore, you're just receiving. So at the time, this kind of information is light. It's not heavy. It's not even condensed. So it's not even something right in front of you that you could hold and be like and put meaning and reasoning behind. This information is light, as in weight. This is how y'all supposed to look at light. So that information, the way you experience it may not take a shape and form yet. So you're just experiencing it. So just clear your mind and clear your soul and just gaze. Almost like just with a clear mind. Don't expect nothing. Now you're receiving and the clutter is gone. So now you can receive all you're gonna receive. Now how you know you received information is when you start interacting back with the world again. When you stop sun gazing or stargazing and things of that nature and start to interact with the elements of the world again. That's aka a person, place, or thing, or the particles that's in front of you. When you start to speak and things of that nature, that's when it's gonna start manifesting and start to create scenarios and situations. And then when you go through these situations, the ideas that you develop will be from the information that you have received when you were stargazing, right? Because you wouldn't have had those thoughts and ideas if you wouldn't have took the time to experience stargazing. You see what I'm saying? Say if you just would have went throughout the day without the stargazing or whatever like that, and then you went through a scenario or a situation, you wouldn't have had the same thoughts. Your thoughts is formulated based upon your experiences. So if you took your time, your experience to sun gaze or moon gaze, then that's what's constructing and formulating your thoughts when you're going through these scenarios and situations, when you put yourself back in society or dealing with people, places, and things. So the ideas that you start to formulate back when you're interacting again, those be the new thoughts and ideas that you received, and that's how you pinpoint it. You see what I'm saying? You can't pinpoint like out of nothing. The information got to correlate to something so it can start to take shape and form. So now that you understand that, you're starting to understand the basic procedure of stargazing now in the real actual way. You see what I'm saying? So now let's get in actually to it now. So sun gazing. So sun gazing is going to make you consciously aware of something, right? So it's going to make you consciously aware. So when you close your eyes and sun gaze, remind you the situations and things that you go through after that sun gaze, you're going to be actually more consciously aware of the scenario that's actually going on. You know what I'm saying? Than the people that's participating. So that's what that means, right? Now when you moon gaze, right? That's when you do it with your eyes open. Now, when you moon gaze, this makes you react and respond to the actual vibe of the situation. So not the shape and form that's in front of you to be aware. Like say for an example, the sun gazing help you come up with new ideas to handle circumstances and situations in front of you. Help others, get your own light together, help you understand your own path and things of that nature. Moon gazing is something else. Moon gazing forces you to react and respond to the actual vibration that's going on behind these things. So fuck the situation and scenario that you see in front of you. This is telling you how it's vibrating. And if it's a vibration that can arouse your experiences to a high vibrational level to the point that it can transform your ass, aka kill you, or to a low vibrational, aka get you stuck into a rut or a responsibility or something like that. And that's what the moon gazing do. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you need to understand. So this is why it's important to understand moon cycles, because the moon cycle will let you know what period. This is why females had a period, but it'll also let you know what period of this perspective that you're going to be reacting to. You see what I'm saying? This is why it's important to be an astrologer, because an astrologer goes a little deeper into this, because we actually understand the space and the location that we are in. Well, at least flight astrology, because so we know the stars, we are all stars. So the stars is irrelevant. It's all about the space. We all come about the space. So regardless of the star, we all are stars moving through space, but the space and the location, like I said, your spirit is your space. So once you understand and start to dive into areas of your life of trying to dictate what you want in your space and what you don't want in your space, that's going to turn into some form or shape of spirituality. I don't give a fuck if you're an atheist or not. Once you tap into the energy nature of trying to figure out what you want in your space and what you really don't want in your space, and I ain't talking about the physical space. You know, even if you have a relationship and you know you're getting too smothered and you start to say things like, I need more space. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. So if you're an atheist, you can even understand this. Anytime you jump into that concept of what you want in your space and want out your space, it don't matter how you look at it. It turns into a form of spirituality. So that's what the fucking spirit is. You know what I'm saying? Your motherfucking space. But when we're talking about sun and moon gazing, right? Now, the moon is kind of taking your shapeless and formless, is putting it out. Now, as an astrologer, see, like I said, we flight astrology, we understand it's all about the space. So this, like when we say things like, okay, the sun is in Gemini or wherever the moon at right now, this is how we calculate the actual energies. But when we say things like the sun in Gemini, when you tell me that, only thing, that's just a calculator. But that's just telling me that, okay, the sun is in a space of air. It's in an air energy space, because we know about the elements. Even the ancients know about the elements: water, fire, earth, air. So right now we just got different names and titles for these things, like Mars, fucking Capricorn, Gemini. But that matters none. These are just like a clock. You know what I'm saying? Just how we tell time now. Just like your motherfucking cell phone. You know, these are just motherfucking shits how we calculate shit. But for the most part, it's just for us to tell what space and location things are in at the moment. So for the most part, when we when we talk about the sun, if the sun is in Gemini, right, then when you sun gazing at this time of the year, you know you sun gazing, and you know you're going to be channeling the air element. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be channeling the air element. And then it go on so forth for the moon. And then this is how you understand, even when we want to go a little deeper, talking about the fixed stars, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. This lets you know the space, and this lets you know what kind of energy you're going to be channeling at the motherfucking moment. Now, to take it either step further, you need to even know what the fuck you even looking at. Now, so for the most part, we understand we are in a solar system. So a solar system, that means we're dealing with a solar plexus. So we know that's one of your first bodies, which is the conscious body, right? Now your conscious body came from the center. You know what I'm saying? So it's not your head. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at it like this way. You are a person standing up, walking on a person laying down. So look at this like a person laying down, right? You are a blood cell in that person standing up, right? So the head of this being will be somewhere, and the body of this person will be somewhere. We are in the stomach right here. We are in the stomach. Now look at it like this. You have a sun, a solar plexus. That's your solar plexus, right? So us standing, this is why it would appear. Let me see if I can stand this up right here. But look, say it's standing, right? It would appear that the sun is going over your head, but really the sun is going around like a hula hoop in the solar plexus of the being, because this is your sun. So your sun is going around you like a hula hoop. Now it's like a vortex. So it goes up and it goes down. You see what I'm saying? Now when it's up here, see, it's really not up. To us, it's laying down. So say this will be the head, and this will be the feet of the being, and the solar plexus, right? It gives life to this area. The first conscious body gives life to this area. Then it goes down and gives life to this area. You see what I'm saying? And we are in the center right now, in the middle, in the stomach area, right? So as the sun go up right here, say right here. Now look at it like this. This will be the head, Aries through Pisces. This will be the feet, right? Aries through Pisces. Now, since this the solar plexus, right? It travel along that band, that band, Aries through Pisces, the star constellations. Look at that as the outer tissue of the body. So this is your Aries through Pisces. All the star constellations, Aries through Pisces, is the skin and the tissue of the being that we in. So this is why the sun never leaves the ecliptic, because the being solar plexus never leaves the band, right? Because it's within that band, it's within that body. So anything outside our ecliptic is different beings, aka different constellations, different people. You know what I'm saying? But the person we are in as blood cells is the ecliptic, and the ecliptic band is Aries through Pisces. Pisces is the feet, Aries is the head, and us as blood cells, we are standing up. This is why it appears that the sun is moving on top of our head, but truly we're supposed to be laying down like this being and letting our solar plexus spin around our circle, just like the overall sun, and spin around. And that's how you're really supposed to sun gaze. You know what I'm saying? And then here's what's happening, right? When the sun is in Aries, we know that the solar plexus, the sun, aka the sun, is in the area of the head, right? When the sun is in Pisces, we know the solar plexus is by the feet. So it's like a band. You know what I'm saying? It's like a band, it's like a vortex. And we know we go to the Tropic of Cancer. You see how I'm moving? You go to the Tropic of Cancer and the Capricorn. Boom. So that's the solar plexus, right? And it gives life to every area. So once you look at it like this, right? The areas of of the whole, what you want to call this existence, right? The most areas that have, let's say, no trees, no water and things of that nature, that would be more like the body parts of a body that's dry. You see what I'm saying? Or the body parts of a body that's more dealing with the head space, right? And then the more bushier, the more forest, the more fruitful, the more life, is the more we're going more to the hairy, bushy parts that carry off nutrition and things of that nature, or the genitals of life. So look, since we know we in the stomach right now, right? Now, like I said, we are in the Dracolian constellation. So right now, as a sun, we're going based upon the travel of the sun, because you are a solar plexus person and you are moving also. So where we're going, right? We're going to the we're moving towards the Hercules constellation, right? So all the like stars, the backdrop stars that you see, the stars that's close to us and things of that nature that you see and shit like that, though you're seeing a bunch of stars from the Centaur stars, Lyra, Hydra, serpents, you know what I'm saying? They just right outside of us. Right? So we're traveling. So for the most part, we are in the tail end of the Dracolian constellation. So we make up the tail, us as blood fluid, all its blood cells, we make up the tail end of the Dracolian constellation. So all of us as stars, like the centaurs and all this shit like that, all the mixing, mingling and shit, and blood cells and organisms and shit like that, we are in the stomach area. So when you're looking up right now, we're in the space based upon like in between Scorpio and Sagittarius, right? As far as our outer layer. So when you look up, we're basically looking at the stomach and the genital areas of the being that we are in. So when you say like Mars is like Ram backwards when you switch it around, but really it's just the directional path and the rotation of that plexus of Mars after it got created. So the rotation and the direction that Mars take, it creates like a Baphomet type of rotation. So all the shapes and forms that get manifested in the realm we are at when we look up is like shit that's like Ram, or shit that's like Baphomet like. So it was like, it became like a deity, right? And that deity represents forcefulness, aggressiveness, intentions, alternative motives. And sometimes it was represented as negativeness, but really it's just forcefulness and passion. And then eventually it became Mars and then soldier like and things of that nature. But really it's just all the shapes and forms that we see that came from that rotation spiral. The same way, you know, we in a spiral when you look at the way that your hair grow and the way that your body grow and flowers grow and grass grow in a spiral. You see what I'm saying? It's telling you what's the stronger rotation. So certain flowers got different shapes, certain animals got different shapes, so different lights angle in different ways and create different rotations based upon the space vortex and the shapes and forms that get manifested out of it, aka light, stars, you, me, bugs, everybody else. We take the shape and form of that realm of reality. So you know what I'm saying? This is why you have to understand elements and don't get lost into shapes and forms and trying to correlate that and have arguments about shit like that. But for the most part, when we're talking about stargazing, right, this letting you know the Pacific location. So for the most part, the sun is in Gemini right now. So this lets you know when you sun gaze, you're going to be gazing some mutable air energy. So for the most part, this is the kind of information you're going to receive. So when you put yourself back in society, you're going to be better consciously aware of how to communicate in a mutable way without putting yourself in your own necessary rut with your own natal alignment. You see what I'm saying? It's like a form of enlightenment. Now, I want to get deeper into talking about how to perceive where we in. Now, since we are now us as a solar system, like I said, the solar plexus and all that, which you have to look at that as one thing. Everything in the solar system, as the solar system period is one thing. We look at it as separate because we're blood cells or sperm cells within it. But look at it like this. The solar system is like a fluid. So us as being within the solar system, we've been dying and transforming, aka taking on bigger cells throughout this Dracolian constellation. Now we're getting ready to get spit out through the sexual organs, right? So look at the solar system as sperm fluid. and look at all the life in it as sperm cells. So you as a body, you are a sperm cell. Now every sperm cell, every being, every person, cell, battery. Every cell is a prison. It's a light. Every cell is a form of light. Fluid, that's a form of light. Everything is a form of light. Now you are a spirit. You always been a spirit. That's an unseen. The spirit is the unknown. You see what I'm saying? So your spirit is what's creating these light forms in order to inhabit. So you started way before any type of form of anything. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, what you need to understand when we start to talk about the solar system right now, look at this as the solar system is a bigger form of one fluid, and we are all the shapes and form. We are all different sperm cells within that fluid. And then the solar system itself is the sperm and the sperm fluid, and we are all the sperm cells. Now, as we travel, right, we're basically getting ready to get spit out through the sexual organs of the being that we are in, right, to come out into that realm of reality of existence, right? Now, like I said, we are in the Dracolian constellation. We are the organism of the Centaur constellations, and then we are within that organism, us. But as a solar system itself, the Pacific cell, we are that in that Dracolian constellation, and within that Centaur constellation, the Pacific cell we are in is our solar system, right? Now our solar system got a body. The body of it is Aries through Pisces, which is the ecliptic band, right? So when your ecliptic band is your body, your tissue and your skin that's wrapping around you. That's your Aries through Pisces. Now your solar system is within you, your solar plexus. So when you look up, you're looking at the less dense physical shapes and forms that this spirit that we are in are taken to create our existence, which was the first body that it created was its sun, right? So we're looking at that. So the solar system altogether is just a fluid, and we are the sperm cells in it, the life cells in it, but we got spirits ourselves. So just letting you know, every cell is a body, is a form of light. You see what I'm saying? And we all take up our own space, and light traps energy, aka space, aka spirit. So your spirit get trapped in a light, in a fluid, a cell, right? Which is your spirit. And your spirit get to express itself through many different shapes and forms, aka dying and transforming. You see what I'm saying? So when you really moon gaze, it give you this knowledge. When you really, and look, here's another key too. Say you want to learn if you was getting cheated on, or you want to be successful in a business or things of that nature, things like that. Moon gaze. You know what I'm saying? No. Not I ain't mean successful in the business. Successful in the business, sun gaze for that. If you want to know if, say, you want to get cheated on, if you're getting cheated on, or say you want to know the behind the scenes realm of something, like you want to know what's really going on. You want to know if you get manipulated. You want to know if your friend really around you because they like you. If you want to know if you in the right scenario, if you in the right job or not, and things of that nature. Do stuff, moon gaze for stuff like that. And stargaze at night. And if you pick a Pacific stars, you know what location you in. For an example, you know what sign what Mars is at. So go outside and do your conscious 360, and then you will know where Mars at. You'll know what space Mars is in. If it's in water, fire, air, you'll know the space is in. So boom, if you know Mars is intent, will, power, passion, motivation. Boom, you channeling that, but you know what kind of element you're gonna channel with that. You're gonna channel that Mars energy in a waterway if it's in water. If it's in the space of air, you're going to channel it in the airway. You know what I'm saying? If it's in the space of fire, you're going to, you know what I'm saying? Wherever Mars is at. You do that with Venus, you do that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got to actually know. And you can go to the fixed stars. Once you get into flight astrology, or you're an astrologer already, you won't even need no satellite or nothing like that. All you need to know is where Pacific stars is at. Then you'll know where the fixed stars is at. And then you won't even have to specifically look at the star. You can just be in that space and then get into your spaceship, which is your mental concept, and then fly to that star. Because that star might be too high that can't see it. But since you are aware of it, you can take your spaceship and go there. And since you know what space and locations it's in, because you're an astrologer or an astronomer or whatever, boom, you'll be able to know where to point your body and what kind of, way to sit and where to actually look at. So when you do create your mental spaceship, you go into the right direction. You see what I'm saying? It's deep like that though. But and then once you know what actual constellations and how it get formulated, but the actual energy signature behind it, not what the Greek is trying to teach you or whatever like that. When you look at what they're talking about, but actually get the spiritual energy that's backing it. When you get that down, then once you get that down, the hell with they words, you go out there and pick it up for yourself, and you receive what they trying to tell you yourself with no filter, with no middleman. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up you and them. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll start, and then once those kind of spirits see that your spirit down here that you got sense, you start interacting with the spirits that got sense. But if you down here lost and not knowing what you're doing, those gonna be the kind of spirits you attract. And then you be around dumb motherfuckers every day. You know them motherfuckers that you be around that you give a little, you give an inch and they think they could take a mile. So they think that they think that they could take advantage, and you could just look at them like, nigga, are you like forcing your advantage on me? Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not stupid, nigga. Like, you see what I'm saying? You got people like, so that's like a dumb spirits too. You know what I'm saying? Dumb higher beings too. You know what I'm saying? When they see you dumb, you attract dumb motherfuckers. They say dumb motherfuckers run in packs. Like on the Lion King. Y'all motherfucker, y'all had the motherfucking hyenas. All the hyenas motherfucking rolling motherfucking packs. But they was dumb. One dumb motherfucker attracted the other dumb motherfucker. And 9 times out of 10, they end up killing each other. That's why you got a packs of hyenas in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, the only motherfucker who got killed was the motherfucker they was hanging with. You know, nigga, it'd be like 7 times out of 10 that somebody killed the ops. Motherfucker, it's only, I mean, it's like it's really only 17. I think I'm even saying that wrong. I'm saying that percentage wrong. But what I'm trying to say is, you're going to get more cases of the nigga who hang with each other killing each other than the actual ops killing each other. And that's nigga, that's in every neighbor fucking hood. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm in the hood right now, and nigga, most of the motherfucking deaths, it was more deaths of a nigga got killed by the nigga he was hanging with than the motherfucking niggas that they had beef with. Nigga, that was way more time. So, but yeah, that's just talking about stargazing though. Flight bus, and that's how to properly stargaze. When you sun gaze, you close your eyes. When you moon gaze or star gaze for the other stars, you open your eyes. Get into astrology so you can know what you're actually stargazing and know what actual space and location you're looking at. And then therefore you actually know what you're doing. And you know who you're talking to as far as spirits and things of that nature. And then for the most part, you need to understand this too. When you're receiving information, you have to clear your mind as if you're not receiving anything at all. Because that information is light. AKA it comes into you lightly. So it's not something you can actually take the shape and form yet until you start to present yourself into society. And then once you present yourself to and start relating to people, places, and things, that's when the information will start kicking in. And then those thoughts and ideas, those should be the ones that you sit back and ponder on and be like, okay, I know where I got that from. You see what I'm saying? Flight bus, bitch. Goddamn air.